Some of Jesus' last words to his disciples were, "Go and make disciples of all nations, all people groups." In 2 Corinthians chapter 5, in verse 17 to 21, we read that if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. And part of that new creation, that new identity, is that we serve as ambassadors of Christ. We're given a message and a ministry of reconciliation. That message is, come and be reconciled to God. In 2 Timothy chapter 2, we're reminded that we are entrusted with this gospel message, and we're to guard it, and we're to be entrusting it or teaching it to others who will pass it on and teach it to others also. You see, Jesus came to provide salvation, the forgiveness of sins, and a life abundant and full that restored relationship with God. And his only means, his plan A for getting that done, is through people like you and I, believers, going and telling our neighbors and the nations.
So how is that going for you? If you're like most, your answer is probably not very good. There are a lot of reasons why people neglect to share the command that Jesus gives us to go make disciples. But the number one thing that we hear is mostly, I don't know what to say, or how do I make disciples? Would you be surprised if I told you that Jesus himself models in the scriptures on how to make disciples and how to engage lostness? And then the Apostle Paul and then his team do the same model. And now Jesus commands you and I to go and do that same very model that he laid out for us in those scriptures.
So, are you a follower of Jesus that desires to be better at making disciples right in your local community? Do you have a missionary call but don't feel like you have the practical tools to actually go and engage a community with the gospel? Or maybe you would just benefit from being on a team that's learning and growing together how to make disciples and plant discipleship groups. Wherever you're at in that, we invite you to come learn and grow together with us in our Disciple Making residency program in Clarkston, Georgia. You see, the residency is a committed community of practice where we're learning together to gather as simple church, to be a community together. We're being trained in some simple yet biblical tools for making disciples. And we're spending time weekly actually going out and meeting people and sharing this good news. We're actually obeying the Great Commission together. In the residency, we experience genuine community and fellowship. We get practical, usable tools. But most importantly, we do it. We go out and do it. Team members commit to 6 hours a week together over a 16-week semester. That's 2 hours a week in house church, simple church. That's 2 hours being trained in some tools for making disciples and planting churches and gathering groups. And that's 2 hours meeting people and sharing the gospel, the good news in our community.
So the end result of this residency program is two things. One, you feel comfortable and confident in sharing the gospel to people in your life. And two, is you're able to go out and to engage your community and to also plant churches. So whether you are a faithful person in your local church or feel called to go to the unreached, we ask you to prayerfully consider this residency program. So if you are interested in joining us in this residency here in Clarkston, Georgia, or if you just want help starting a residency in your area, we ask you to please email us at goandtell1040@gmail.com. Thank y'all.